Hey, it's Onesto, and Quanta is one of those plugins you get because you saw your favorite producer use it in some cool YouTube video, but when you open it up yourself, you have no idea what to do and you're just pretty confused overall. I'm going to show you the most important things you should know when using Quanta, what kind of samples you should use with it, and even what sort of mindset you should have. Here are the best ways to use Quanta. Quanta by Audio Damage is really good at doing granular synthesis. If you don't know what that is, it's a form of synthesis where you get a sample and you chop it up into tiny slices, and those little slices are called grains. And what Quanta does is that it takes those slices, those small samples, those micro samples, and layers them all together so that you can get some really unique textures, some amazing melodies and rhythms, and any other kind of sound that you'd want out of it. What you can do in granular synthesis, you can't do in any other kind of synthesis like additive or subtractive or FM. And I think one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around was that when you do granular synthesis, there's always going to be a degree of randomness involved. Let me show you what I mean with this first example here. So when you open up Quanta, this area right here is going to be completely blank. And what you do is that you can drag in any kind of sample you want into it. So let me show you what sample I have in here right now. So it's a guitar chord progression. It's just some nice plucking. It sounds really, lovely. And this is what I wanted to try something out with. So one of the most important things to know about using this plugin is messing around with this position knob. This position knob is what allows you to get different textures. What I have going on in this plugin right now is not super complex by any means. I just have, a little bit of grain increase, my length increase. I always add randomness to these knobs, even if it's just like a pinch, so it could always feel like it's moving and just ever changing. So let me show you what happens when I just seriously hit one note. So it's pretty crazy how you can get that sound just from hitting one note. And what's happening is, you can kind of hear it where it's just repeating like a tiny sliver of that sample over and over and over. It's like really quickly. And with this grain knob, that means I have 23 grains all playing together just in like a unique way to get this cool texture. And then now the object is, let's create a melody or some kind of chord progression with with this thing. And of course, it's not going to happen when you just hit the single knob. So what do you have to do is, search around, click, and try out different positions. So just sweeping through it that way, you're hearing notes happen. And what you have to do is sort of like arrange them all together. So what I like to do is just hold down a key and then move my mouse and just like click, 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 click. So I just kind of go through it, create my chord progression in a rhythm that I would like. So something like this. So something like that already kind of sounds like a cool little chord progression. It's a little bit abstract, but that's what's kind of cool about it. And this is what I keep learning time and time again with Quanta, granular synthesis as a whole, is that when you walk into this thing, you're not trying to create a sound, you're trying to find one. I know it's a little bit like hippy dippy, but like seriously, you're trying to like unravel something that's in this sample already that, you just haven't heard before. So what I did in this little loop is I just kind of, you can see here, I held down a note for the entire 8 bars. That's it. But I messed around, clicking around with the position, and this is what we got. Yeah, so pay attention to this little position here. So in example 2, the lesson I want to just share is that sometimes you got to support your granular synthesis sound by layering it up with like a really cool bass or just some other kind of chord or sound underneath it. Because sometimes the sounds you get out of Quanta can sound a little bit too abstract, like it's hard to pinpoint the key that is playing. But when you layer it up with something that's a bit more clear and concrete, something that kind of sounds like a C now sounds like a C once you layer it up. So it just kind of creates, a more coherent chord progression. So here in this example, I pulled a lot of samples from Igloo Ghost's sample pack on Splice. I love Igloo Ghost. He is so crazy and kind of scares me. So I wanted to try to make something that was sort of like his stuff. I don't know how much I succeeded or not. You can be the judge. So in Quanta here, let me play the sample that it came from. So this is like cool, like loop. It's kind of RP, sparkly, really high end, a lot of air in it. And what I did once again was just hold out a note and just clicked around and try to create some sort of melody, something to work with. And this is what it came up with. So that's pretty cool. But as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, I like that sound, but I don't know what it means. I don't know what it is. So I decided to grab a bass. And the Quanta sound that I created was really high and sparkly, kind of shrill. So I wanted it to give a lot of contrast with the bass. So I have something that's kind of racy, and I like it. So here's is the bass that I have underneath it. So now like that to me, like I can hear like what's happening. I can hear the chord progressions, pretty obviously. So now when I layered it up with that Quanta sparkly sample, here's what you get. So with the bass supporting with this granular synthesis sound that you create, it helps the listener know what the heck's going on. And it allows this cool abstract texture become just something that's great and catchy. And one thing I want to point out in that these demos that I'm showing you, it took a lot of experimentation. It wasn't like I just instantly figured out what to do. I had to like mess around for quite some time, and and typically I like to show you me creating something like live and on the fly, but the video would be way too long because granular synthesis is a little bit of randomness, a little bit of organized chaos, and a lot of trial and error. Oh yeah, let me play you the whole loop. That's Igloo Ghost inspired. This is kind of fun. Yeah, that was fun to make, and I feel like that was only really possible with this granular synthesis thing. Okay, here's something else that's really helpful to do in Quanta, and it's using the LFOs in there to modulate the position knob and even the random knobs. So here's my Quanta plugin. Here's a sample that I'm using today. Okay, so it's like an arpeggio. For this one, I just want to jump to the end result because I like it quite a bit. And once again, use a lot of Igloo Ghost's samples because I wanted to be crazy like him for tonight. So here we go. What is happening here? Okay, so the way these little notes are drifting, that's all from the LFO. So I found that an LFO, with the shapes, I like them when they look something like this, more skewed. When they have more of just like a sine, sort of like wave looking thing like that, I found that things felt a little bit too predictable. It just sort of was just sweep back and forth in too symmetrical of a way, if that makes any sense at all. So what I like to do is skew it. I'll just mess with the phase, maybe the shape to give it something else, skew it, warp it, just get something that has more of an asymmetry. So now, because the LFO, flexible LFO is what that F stands for. And then I assigned it on the matrix to, I think, the position. Let me double check. Like that, boom. Yes, so there you go. So the LFO here is affecting the grain position. And just by a little bit. I only put it like a tiny, tiny bit. I felt that when you go a bit further, it goes like, just like way too crazy. But maybe you're looking for that. But I typically would just go a tiny little pinch of that, and it allows your position to just move a little bit. And I think that usually gives you something more musical for the most part. So now when I hold a note out, so in this example, I'm not messing with the position knob by clicking around. I'm letting the LFO do that for me. And it just turned out that was what gave me a better sound. Once again, there's a lot of trial and error in granular synthesis. And you've probably noticed in all my examples, like I don't play things polyphonically. I don't hold out multiple notes. I'm just typically holding off like a C, or I might jump up an octave. And maybe I'll do like the fifth note. That's all I'm really doing. And the reason for that is because I searched through the presets on Quanta, and the patches that are a bit more polyphonically, I would start to play it, and it just started to feel like, oh, like I can get this kind of sound from a serum. You know, I can, like, it was doing something that I felt like I can get from other synthesizers much easier. And I wanted to use granular synthesis in a way where I can only get that sound from granular synthesis. So that's why I just like to hold off one note. Hey, and maybe I don't understand granular synthesis enough to where I can play it polyphonically and get something really cool and crazy and amazing. I'm just not there yet. But what I found that is just going monophonically, allowing yourself to get those different melodies by clicking around in the screen, or by assigning the LFOs to the position knob. That's how I've been able to get like the textures and the sounds that I want from this plugin so far. Okay, let's hear this loop all over again. And notice that I'm supporting it once again with this respace here. And then of course, all these crazy drums and hyped up vocals. Here's what it all sounded like together. Okay, before I end this thing, I have a bunch of tiny like quick tips that are pretty important, but it's just weird to show a demonstration with it. Okay, I found the most important knobs to mess around with whenever you kind of jump into this thing is to mess around with the shape. I'll show you what that does. Cool. So mess around with that shape knob, but also the length. This is the length of the sample that it takes, and I think it has to be in milliseconds. Great. And then the grains, which is how many grains it's playing, which a grain, you know, remember, is that little micro sample that it takes. Yeah. And then the other thing I like to mess around with is a direction. Forward, we'll be playing those samples forward and kind of normally. Reverse, of course, is reverse. Sometimes I like to do random. I just, you know, go through it, see what you like best. Another quick thing is this FEG, which stands for flexible envelope generator. And the thing that I like to mess around with is this point here between these two here. So you can like drop it down. So that's really fun to play with. Also are these modes here. So this just does like a normal like one shot, like a single note. This one is going to be repeating this in a loop forward. And this one is like a little, I don't know, I guess you would call it ping pong. It goes forward and back. Yeah, just like that. So I found that in the flexible envelope generators, messing with this point here, cycling through the modes can help you get some cool results. And then you have all these other flexible ones that you can assign in this matrix in case you wanted to modulate something that way. Oh yeah, and my last quick tip, which is, I think it's going to save you a lot of headaches. Okay, whenever you open up Quanta for the first time, this oscillator is on. I think the level is on here, or this oscillator in is on. So what happens is that when you play it, you hear that like tone. So sometimes, like actually most times, I don't want to hear that. So I just make sure I turn down oscillator in and level to 0. And then you'll just be getting that pure granular synthesis sound from your sample. Yeah, I mean, Quanta's super wonderful. I love using it. It's pretty easy and fun to use. And I have a link in the description if you want to like click it and check it out on Plugin Boutique to get some more information about it. But I love this thing. Get it. So those are currently some of my favorite ways to use Quanta. And I hope that you can put some of these tips to use so that you can make some cool granular synthesized sounds all on your own. And please support me by liking and subscribing to this channel so that you and other producers can level up to be the best producers possible. And I'll see you later. Bye.